embraced Islam. After that, the whole country became a Muslim country. Even the name of Buddhism completely disappeared from this country. Nearly 500 or 600 years. Then Chinese started to migrate 19th century, 20th century and settle down here. They are the ones who have started Buddhist way of life in Malaya. After that, of course, they followed only Chinese tradition, Chinese culture, Chinese way of life to practice Buddhism. Then Sri Lanka, Thailand, Burma, they also come and join with them, then modified. The Buddhism that we are practicing in this country today, mixture of Chinese, Sri Lankan, Thai and Burmese. Today 19% the population follow this religion. Second major religion in this country. So, the freedom that we have to think freely and to follow our traditions and customs freely and religious belief not as law or commandment, but not because of fear of punishment, but knowing these things are wrong, immoral, wicked, harmful, then we try not to do. We try our best not to do through our understanding. Again, certain things are very important to release other suffering. Suffering from sicknesses, old age, poverty and fear and worries. It is our duty to release them. These are meritorious deeds. Not simply by worshipping and praying. Meritorious deeds. There was a well-known Hindu, Swami Vivekananda, well-known name all over the world. One day, when he visited a place, he saw a group of people in front of an image beating drums and blowing trumpet, burning incense and singing and singing. Then he came and asked, what are you doing here? Then they told, we are praying and worshipping to this God for blessing. Then Vivekananda said, throw away all this rubbish. Do you think you can bluff God beating your drum and blowing your trumpet? Throw away all this rubbish. Go out. There are so many who need your service, who are having sicknesses, who are dying, who are starving, who have no shelter. Go and do something to release their suffering. Then you get the blessing from God. Not by beating your drum. The Buddha also wanted to introduce this type of religious way of life. You can say you worship, you can say you pray, you can say you perform also rites. Buddha was not interested in all those things. If you try to be good, if you try to do good for the well-being of others, then you really respect the Buddha, you follow the Buddha, then you are real Buddhist. You are following real religious way of life. 9:10. What time did we start? Good. So why not we allow them to ask some questions?
Thank you, Chief Reverend. We shall now open to the floor for questions and answer. Please use the 2 mics provided in the house.
Books.
Buddhists. They claim themselves as a Buddhist, but in actual fact, the definitions of Buddhist and Taoism, there's a definition on that.
And manners and duties, all are there. Therefore, whatever they practice, they cannot do away with them. Deeply penetrated in their mind as Chinese culture. Therefore, there are certain occasions which is very embarrassing. And the Christian and Muslims ridicule our way of doing certain things, especially Chinese funerals. When they watch what they are doing, they really condemn and bad names. Buddhism get the bad name. But if they can practice this thing, this is our Chinese tradition, Chinese custom, not Buddhism. And religious aspect is separate. Then no one can say they are bad Buddhists. Customs and tradition and religion. Later, when their understanding, maturity, experience, knowledge develop, they can minimize, they can reduce as much as possible what they can. That is the only. Otherwise, you cannot throw them away at once just because of Buddhism.
Thank you.
I think from your talk, it gives me the impression that for some system of belief to be classified as a religion, it has to do with after death or the next life. I think all human beings, being intelligent, they also follow a certain style of life or way of life. And just as you say, the free thinkers don't call themselves religious people. They just say they are free thinkers. So for something to be labeled a religion, you probably will say it has to do with the issue of the next life or the afterlife. But even the extent of the human intelligence, as you said in your lecture, and the progress of science, nowadays we have this concept of cloning. One day, in your opinion, if we perfected cloning, do we really need the concept of God? Do we then really need a religion? Since by the technique of cloning, we don't die. I can create one of myself, one of another self. Then what is the place of religion then? Thank you.
Good news regarding this cloning and the Buddhist concept on cloning. Then I mentioned there is no reason for us to object, to go against this. Because Buddhism is a religion that which encourages people to use their intelligence, not to interrupt. So next day, this item appeared in the paper. Christianity, no. Islam, no. Hinduism, no. Buddhism, yes. I got so many telephone calls appreciating for making such brave statement. Because our own karma that we have committed, the Buddha says, by using our intelligence, we can overcome the bad effect. This is the nature of intelligence. So when human beings are going to discover certain things through their scientific knowledge, all the other religions objected at the beginning. This is against belief in God. Buddhism is the only religion never discourage. They can, if they misuse by adopting an immoral or wicked method, then Buddhism can stand against them. If they use this intelligence to discover many things that human beings could not discover yet, in time to come, my dear friend, they will discover so many things. Because others object, saying it is not the duty of human being to create some living being, it is the duty of the God. Therefore, you cannot create. Allow God to create. If they can create,